Duau. Anuk Ptah Skr Asar. I am Ptah Skr Asar. I am the royal scribe, master craftsman, and keeper of time of Teshuvah, the Holy House of Ra, and the Nagaship Association. And you are watching Crumb TV, where you will desire to acquire the ability to experience the phenomenon of being. Dua.
Brother Red Pill representing Know the Ledge, one half of the Twin Pillars. I am here rocking with Crumb TV.
No, you are watching Crumb TV.
You can find me on Crumb TV.
You can catch me on Crumb TV.
This is Chief Kalanago here at Crumb TV.
I am Joy Allen of the Memoirs of a Karmic Dynasty in the Crumb TV studio.
Honored to be on your program, brother.
Peace.
Peace.
Crumb TV.
Hete Poo, Duwa, Duawu, Anezarek, Ramech, E.M. Hotep. Greetings and divine greatness, divine excellence to the first families, and to all of you joining us today here on Crumb TV. And also to my Nagas, my Shimsu Hurus, my Nesubitis, my Mutnatarts, my Sebas and Sebats and Hamets, the immortal ones of Ma'at cherished, of the phenomenon of precession, New Age Order, Great Golden Age of Ma'at Ptah Asar, and to all citizens, descendants of the Nile Valley Cultural Cosmic Collective Consciousness Spirituality. O Ra Neber Teshuvah, the she and he, the mother and father of all existence, the master and possessor of light and radiation, of heat and movement. We ask that you bless us humble servants for Ankh, life being, now present. For we seek the counsel of the ancient ones and practice daily the ancient Ma'atian ways and ancient Ma'atian truths. We strive evermore to become one with thee in this world and in the existence to come. We ask that you bless us on this, the 197th Haru after the Helical Rising, 163 Haru remaining until Ubin Soptit, Cyrus Rising, Upawat Samai Tawi, Weprin Pet Digit Heb, New Year's celebration, the 17th Haru, the 6th Abet of Haru, the 2nd Haru of Quebsanuf, the 17th Haru, the 3rd Abet, the 2nd season of Aket, Renpet number 10, AFNK/ST after founding of New Kemet, Naga Kemet, Kem West, Samai Tawi, Phenomenon of Precession, New Age Order, Great Golden Age of Ma'at Ptah Asar. We ask that you bless our families and friends and all those of us who gather together in your most holy, sacred, and glorious ancient Tamarian name of Ra Neber Teshuvah. For in the art of seeking you, there is much comfort. So as it is spoken, so let it be written, so let it be done, so shall it be. For now and forever forward, Ra Neber Teshuvah, Panatara Pu, Pama'at, Ankwaz Dejed, Ank Uja Seneb, Ubin Nefer Iker, Panabu Haru Ma'ati, rising always in divine excellence with Ma'at, every day, all day, Dua, Dua'u. And Anuk, Ast Ma'at Tefnut, I am Ast Ma'at Tefnut. You may know me here on Crumb TV as the Memoirs of a Karmic Dynasty or Joy Allen. I am here today with my Sba Ptah Skr Asar, and I am a student of Teshuvah, which is the Holy House of Ra. And there I am known as Asma Tefnut, so you may hear him refer to me in that manner. And once again, we have Sba Ptah Skr Asar. If you would, once more, tell us all who you are and where we can find you. We have some who are new here to the platform, so they definitely need you to tell us all who you are. Dua Usiba.
My mic is muted. Can you hear me, Queen Mother?
Yes, I hear you, Siba.
Dua Panata Pupamaat, Uncle Jet, Uncle Seneb, Ubenapike Panabu Haruma Ati, rising always in divine excellence with Ma'at every day, all day. Anuk Ptah Skr Asar, I am Ptah Skr Asar, I am the royal scribe, master craftsman, and keeper of time of Teshuvah. and of the Naga Ship Association, and you are watching Crumb TV, where you will desire to acquire the ability to experience the phenomenon of being. And I would like to also say that to you, Queen Mother Goddess, for performing your Hesi, your Saku, your affirmation by commanding the cosmic forces. I would like to say Dua, Dua'u to you. Your words are Macharu. They are victorious and righteously great. You have commanded the cosmic forces that allow us, you, they, love, guidance, protection through the daily experiences of pondable matter, and your words are splendor to the ears of the Netarus, to the ancient ones, and to the gods and goddesses, and to the ancestors. And we say to you, Dua, Dua, Dua.
Dua, Dua, Woo, Sba.
So, you still want me to continue?
Do so,
Or was
definitely.
you going? Okay, before I begin, I would like to call upon the ancestors so I may perform my Hesi, my Saku, my affirmation. But first, I'd like to address the elders and ask the elders for permission to speak. I should call upon the great Queen Mother Goddess, Queen Afua, for permission to speak. The great Queen Mother Goddess, Diambi of the Congo, for permission to speak. I will call upon the great Queen Mother Goddess, Amut Natat, Raketi Amen, for permission to speak. The Queen Mother Goddess Soleil, Queen Mother Goddess Soleil, for permission to speak. The Queen Mother Goddess Seshat Ma'at Heru, for permission to speak, and all the Queen Mother Goddesses worldwide. To call upon the elders, the Sebas, Dr. Professor Leonard Jeffries, for permission to speak. Baba Samaj Ptah, for permission to speak. Baba Heru Samaj Ptah, for permission to speak. The old man with the stick, our great divine Sba Kofiti Guatemala in South America, the great Sba of South America, for permission to speak. I asked Nefundishi for permission to speak. I asked Kaba Kamini for permission to speak. I asked all of the great Sebas for permission to speak, and I will now address the ancestors, the ancient ones, in the Patnatarus with my Hesi, my Saku, and my affirmation, so that I may command the cosmic forces that allow us, they, you, love, guidance, and protection through the daily experiences of pondable matter. And I shall begin. Hete poo, dua, dua, dua'u, dua'u, Anezarek, Ramech, Hotep. Greetings in divine greatness, divine excellence to the first families of the New Age order. My Nagas, my Shemsurus, my Nesubitis, my Hemets, my Sibas and Sibats, my Mutnatats, the immortal ones of Ma'at, cherished. Phenomenon of Precession, New Age order, great golden age of Ma'at Ptah Asar, and all citizens, descendants of the Nile Valley, cultural, cosmic, collective consciousness, spirituality. O Ast Ermut Patnataru Pa Nebu, the mother of the Netarus, the mistress of Pet, the maker of mankind, she who is mighty, and Usa Meduna Fair Hekau, divine words of power, mother of all initiations, bless us humble servants for Ankh, life, being, now present. For we seek the counsel of the ancient ones and practice daily the ancient Ma'atian ways and ancient Ma'atian truths. We strive evermore to become one with thee in this world and in the existence to come. We ask that you bless us on this, the 197th day of the year after the Helical Rising. 163 days remaining until Ubin, Suptit Cyrus Rising, Upuat, Samatawi, Wet Renpet Dejedhev, New Year's celebration, the 17th day of the 6th month of Heru, the 2nd day of Questioneth, the 17th day of the 3rd month of the 2nd season of Aket, year number 10, AFNK/ST, after the founding of New Kemet, Naga Kemet, Samai Tawi, Phenomenon of Precession, New Age order, great golden age of Ma'at Ptah Asar. We ask that you bless our families and friends and all those of us who gather together to worship in your most holy, sacred, and glorious ancient Tamarian name of Ast Ermut Patnataru Pa Nebu. For in the act of seeking you, there is much comfort. So it is spoken, so let it be written, so let it be done. So shall it be for now and forever forward. Ra Ra Pa Nata Apupamaat Onkwas Dejet Onkuja Seneb Uben Napi Ke Panebu Haruma Ati rising always in divine excellence with Ma'at every day, all day. Atumra Hotep.
Dua, Dua Wu, Sba
Okay.
Ptah Skr Asar. Your words are Macharu, true of voice. You are victorious and righteously great. You have commanded the cosmic forces that affords you, us, we, love, guidance, and protection through the daily experiences of ponderable matter. Your libation, Hesi Saku, affirmation is splendor to the ears of the ancient ones, the Puat Netcharus, and the ancestors. Dua, Dua Wu, Sba.
Dua, Queen Mother Goddess, Asma, Ma'at Tefnu.
Okay.
So I
and
would like to say
we...
that. I like to say, yes, go Queen Ma'at. I just don't like dead air time. You know me. Go
Yeah, no. So before we continue, I'm going to acknowledge the first responders, and I have shared some of the comments. We're going to go to the first responders. So we have first Ancestors Jean from YouTube speaking peace. Dua, Dua to you. We have Lynn from YouTube speaking peace and love. Peace and love. Dua, Dua to you as well. We have C, Alicia. Peace and prosperity. She speaks from YouTube. Peace to you as well. Dua, Dua. And we again are here on Crumb TV, acknowledging my humble brother Crumb for having this platform and gifting me with the ability to be able to come to you and bring the content and the knowledge and the experiences of our people. And we all know that on Crumb TV, this is White History Month, and I only saw it fitting that I bring on Sba Ptah Skr Asar, and he speak to you today about our story, not his story. So we will hear about that today and much, much more. So once again, we welcome Sba Ptah Skr Asar to the platform. Dua, Dua Sba, if you would.
Dua, Queen Mother Goddess, Asma Tefnu. Yes, I like to say I am happy to be back to the family, to the Ramech, which means in Meduneta, the Ramech means the family, the first families of this New Age order. Here on Crumb TV, I'd like to salute my brother Crumb, the great master teacher, Crumb. And I'd like to also say we are having the Ren Pet celebration on the July 25th at the Museum of the National Center for Afro-American Artists, 300 Walnut Ave. Where we have the Royal Burial Chamber of Nesubithia Spalta. We will be honoring our brother Crumb there on that day. It's a 24-hour gala event. We're going to have musicians, drummers, a martial art exhibition, a fashion show. We're going to have vendors out here. We're going to have tents. We're going to have drones up in the air. We're going to have a big, long screen, 150-inch screen with a projector, which will be playing and playing audios and videos from inside the tomb, because we might not be able to go in the tomb because of the COVID. So when I get in there, I'm going to do a whole bunch of series of videos, and we're going to show them to the audience outside. And it's going to be a wonderful day. We're going to honor our brother Crumb with a Lifetime Achievement Award for his daily struggles of bringing our liberation and our cultural legacy to the home front. And we want to say to you, we are humbled to be here on your platform, Brother Crumb, and we say dua, dua, dua to you. And today's topic of discussion, everybody, we're going to discuss the SHN-NU legend, the birth of the SHN-NU legend, and the ZP-TPII, the origins of existence and the creation, development of the universe. This is the SHN-NU legend, but she's going to show you the new SHN-NU legend in a second. You'll be able to see it on the screen. And I'd like to thank the Green Mother Goddess who had us on her platform yesterday. That is the SHN-NU legend right there, everybody. This is the SHN-NU legend. I'd like to say to all my Nagas, my Shemsurus, my Nesubitis, my Hemets, my Sibats, as you sail across the waters, tell all your sons and daughters that the New Age order, birthright of immortality, is here. This is the SHN-NU. This is the SHN-NU legend. It will become legendary in our cultural spirituality, our cultural cosmic collective conscious spirituality. And as we travel hither and thither, north, south, east, west, to regain our divine position here on this planet as the true monarchs, the true rulers, the universal rulers of this planet. We shall regain our consciousness. We shall remember who we are. And I have been sent this SHN-NU legend from the Neteru. I am delivering it to my people here on Crumb TV. And remember that the prophecies, this is the SHN-NU legend. And for those of you who have not been following our series of the comic dynasties, we've had 12 episodes. This is one of the last installments on this narrative, but we will be bringing you much, much more. Okay? And this is the Naga ship. So we're all going to get on the boat of Ra. We're going to traverse through the celestial fields from the atomic energy, the subatomic, right into the ZP-TPII. But this is the SHN-NU legend. This is how we're going to get there. This is called the precious treasure. This is immortality. And it was sent to us from our ancestors. It's written in the tombs. It's written in the Mastaba text. It's written in the pyramid text. It's written on the coffin text. It's written in the Shabaka stone. It's written in the Khemetic. It's written in the book of Ra. It's written in the book of Coming Forth by Day. It just stands in mute testimony. And because you are suffering from PTSS, post-traumatic slave syndrome, and you are caught up and you have been captured by the paralysis of the analysis, and you suffer from the label of injured humanity, mental, physical, spiritual, subjugated slavery. You think that you're a slave. This isn't normal for you to think this way. You didn't wake up this morning to be no slave, but because of your conditioning, you woke up because when you wake up, you have to wake up and say, you say that I am a Shem-Suru, and you embrace the light. You embrace the sun. And then this sun will reveal all that it is that for you to have, all that it is for you to embrace. It's within the sun. You are children of the sun. So this prophecy says that, the prophecy states that we will be sent
Sba,
something from the, yes.
Sba, before you start the poems, could you share with everyone the word of the day? And you also asked me to remind you of UPP. Tell them what UPP is and the word of the day. And when Sba, I'm going to tell y'all, when Sba told me the word of the day, I said, Sba, I know that word.
Stop it.
But I also heard it today on Branch of Knowledge when Brother Crumb did a video earlier today. So Sba, share the word of the day that you have. And you told me to remind you of UPP.
Yes, I would first like to say, I'd like to give thanks to my 4 pillars of the Nagaship Association, the great Queen Mother Sba Ptah Skr, Duncan G, Jehuti Skr Asar, and our great astrological Sba Ramutep Queb. I'd like to give thanks and give praises to you two, to you 3, as we are the 4 pillars of the Nagaship. And yes, today's word of the day. Today is the Heru. The Medu Heru, the Ren Heru Mesu. The name of the day is flagellate. To flagellate. I'm sorry, to flagellate. To stop flagellating yourself. To flagellate means to flog yourself. This is to flagellate. You got the stick with the whips on it, and you whipping yourself. This is called UPP, unnecessary pain and punishment. So we're here to begin the EUPP, which is the eradication of unnecessary pain and punishment. We wake up every day and we inflict the pains upon ourselves. We kill each other. We destroy our bodies by eating these foods and drinking that liquor and doing them drugs and smoking the cigarettes or whatever it is that you're doing that is contradictory to your divine birthright. This is called unnecessary UPP, unnecessary pain and punishment. And we're going to bring about the eradication of unnecessary pain and punishment. And we're going to call this stop flagellating. Stop to flagellate. Okay, so the word of the day is not to flagellate. And we're going to get right into it because it comes in very levels. It comes mentally, physically, and spiritually. Our teachers, our so-called teachers, are flagellating us. when we go to school, when you send your child to school, you have deliberately sent your child to go get flagellated, to begin the process of underachievement, and to learn how to bring harm upon yourself and to defeat your abakaku, because they're not going to teach you what you need to know there. They're going to teach you how to become self-destructive. You already know this. So this, yes, Queen Mother.
You said abakaku. Could you tell people what that is in English? Because you're speaking to Meta Netra right now.
Oh, yes, yes. The ab is the heart. The ba is the soul. The ku is the spirit. And of course, the shadow is the shabit. These are all part of the molecular structure of the body, and they have a frequency. So this here is the first frequency, specifically Ra Never Teshira. So we're going to begin with, we're going to go right through it. So I want to thank the Queen Mother, Bloomingdale Mac, for allowing us on her show last night. And I apologize that I started from the ZP-TPII first. And we worked our way down because I had the great Sba Duncan G. Jehuti Kepra Asar was going to break down the mechanics and the mechanics and the dynamics of the SHN-NU legend with its chromatics and the rings. So I wanted to have him do that for you, but I wanted to lead that down to you. So I had to come in through the front door down. But today we're going to start from the terrestrial plane, and so we can understand, so we can just go right through this. And we're going to end up at the ZP-TPII inside the primeval ocean, so that we can understand that you cannot know who, what, where you are without understanding the origins of your existence.
Right.
To understand the origins of your existence, you must know, who am I? Where do I come from? Why am I here? And where am I going? And where am I going? Yes, these are the questions that the age-old questions of man and woman on this planet for millions and millions of years. And it was known to have been stored in the repository of our ancient African legends, in our ancient African temples. You know, in our ancient African temples, they were there to be preserved, and they came, and at one part of time in the phenomenon of precession, as above, so below, things were being diluted. And at this time, they made their move, and they got the knowledge. And when they got the knowledge is when they stole your time. This is what the SHN-NU legend will do. It's going to restore your cosmic time. So we're going to begin in a second. I want to know if the Queen Mother Goddess would like to lead me in a direction, because I'm here as your humble servant, great Queen Mother Goddess. We pay tribute and honor to the feminine energy, and we are humble to you. Dua, dua, dua.
Dua, Luciba. So I know you were going to go into the poems next, and you were starting with the prophecy states. We can continue with that now if you like.
Yes, so that everybody can understand with the SHN-NU. Put the SHN-NU up there if you can, Queen Mother Goddess. The PowerPoint for the SHN-NU. The prophecies states that we will be sent something from the past to join with something from the future. Something from the physical world to join with the spiritual world. The Samatawi, the union of the past and future, the physical and spiritual world, will be contained in the revelations of a secret, mystical, spherical diagram called the Ipeteru Shabitem Tuaru Pamat, the SHN-NU legend, to ensure your divine birthright and to facilitate your journey, quest, voyage to of immortality, to be reborn, Ranu, as a star, expanding with the universe forever and ever. Dua, dua. And so I'll just knock out the rest of these poems real quick, just to get the frequency going so everybody can loosen up, because I'm back, I'm black, and I'm back, and I'm back.
Get him,
oh, Anuk Heru, Anuk Heru. I am Heru. I am Heru. I give you my wings so that you may fly. I give you my eyes so that you will never die. Oh, you divine Nagas, Shemsurus, Nesubitis, Hemet, Siba, Sibats, Mudatats, the immortal ones of Ma'at, cherish Gather, gather, come hither, come thither, rally unto me, and I will lead you to the true, righteous, Ma'atian path of immortality. Follow the movements of the stars, Subtit, Sirius, and Ra, and you will find yourself in a perfect state in space and time. Acknowledge the divine cosmic environment that you are seeing, and you will desire to acquire the ability to experience the phenomenon of being. And I come forth from the beginnings of the nows, wherein dwells the great divine Nefernetia Hapi at the foothills of the mountains of the moon. This is a poem that was translated by Dr. Ben Jokanan from the Papyrus of Hunefa. In case anybody wants to do any research for this poem, comes out of the Papyrus of Hunefa, and it was translated by Dr. Ben Jokanan. And of course, Dr. John Henry Clarke's poem of words would say, that which does not bring about your liberation or immortality was designed specifically to ensure your mental, physical, and spiritual subjugation, and therefore must be thrown, tossed, sent away into the ash can icebox of European history, predicated upon the doctrines of injured, the Hellenistic paradigm doctrines of injured humanity. And I shall continue with, do you know what it feels like to be an uncrowned Nasut Hemet, king and queen, lacking honor, a crown, a throne, a Merku, a solar system, lunar calendar, and just about everything? Well, let me tell you of our story, of our most earliest ancient African indigenous primordial ancestors in their glory. Those of us who were born from the great line of kings. You were born from the great line of Nasuts and Amets, kings and queens. I was born from the great lines of Nasuts and Amets, kings and queens. From diamonds and pearls and emeralds and all sorts of precious things, everyday trinkets for those of us who were born from the great line of Nasuts and Amets, kings and queens. Everyday trinkets for those of us who were born from the great line of Nasuts and Amets, kings and queens. But without your past, you can only live life in half. Half man, half woman, half beast, half slave. And this trend of thought is all that you have sought, all that you have bought without knowledge of yesterday, without knowledge of yesterday. Oh, let not the flames die out. Cherished, age after golden great age, in its sacred caverns and holy temples cherished. Fed by the pure Nagas, Shamsurus, Nesubitis, Hemet, Sibats, Natats, the immortal ones of Ma'at, cherished. Oh, let not the flames die out. And I think there's one more left, maybe two. I think there's one, I'm not sure, but I shall say
before
one more.
The Romans.
Before, go ahead, Queen Mother, you take that one.
All right. Before the Romans and the Greeks, there were 9 days in every week, and time was kept by charting stars that were visible on our calendar. Aware of the movement of the earth, stars, and moons, these ancient African indigenous primordial Nagas, Shemsuhurus, Nesubitis, Hamets, Sibas, and Sibats, the immortal ones of Ma'at cherished peoples, were cosmically attuned.
Dua. Sounds great when you said that. Just charged me up. I need love too. Okay. So now, here we go. Everybody's ready. So here we go. We call upon the great Ramutep Queb to turn over the first Tarot, the Tarot card, not Tarot card. It's a Tarot card. The Ta means the earth. The Ra means the sun. And the T represents the feminine energy. That's why it's called, that's why the Greeks and the Romans corrupted to say tarot card. It's Tarot card. And the first card you turn over, boom, represents your present situation. So what is our present situation? Our present situation really is immortality. You are a Naga Shemsu and Nesubiti, but as above, so below within the great golden age of Uncle Soot. We just came out of Pisces, Uncle Set, and we just dawned upon the great golden age of Mad Hapi Asar within the phenomenon of precession. So within this transition, we are now injured humanity, mental, physical, spiritual, subjugated slave. This is the opposing forces. The second card is opposing forces. The first card represents your present situation. The second card is crossed over, means your opposing forces. The opposing forces are the Hellenistic paradigm doctrines of injured humanity. How does that apply? What does that mean? That means from the day you was from the womb to the tomb. Okay, we're talking from the womb to the tomb. They got you conditioned. They got you programmed. As soon as you're born, your name goes on a birth certificate. And you become a prisoner of war, of maritime law. You become property of the United States of America, the corporation of the United States of America, in which you go upon the stock exchange and you become parlayed as stock. And now they took away that all they're doing is defacing every part of you. They're breaking down every layer of your aura, down to your melanin. They're trying to suck all the energy out of you. And now here you are today. Under what frequency? They have us walking around under a body frequency of 24 and under, on the body frequency scale. You can Google, we went through this before, Dr. Taino. Google Tiano, Dr. Taino, body frequency. And you see that on the body frequency scale, we're supposed to be 100 and up because we're eating of the seed. We're eating of life, of the living, the great five golden rules. But today we're under 24 Candida, which means we are scientifically dead. Scientifically, you are dead. Your eyes are open, your mouth is moving, but you're scientifically dead. They know when you're going to meet your demise. They already got your organs sold on the market. So you have to begin to understand about this insidious evil plan they have, and they've been working this, but we're so resilient. We're the best of the best of the best, as the Kaba comedian would always say. See what Kaba comedian would say, if I may stand on his shoulders at this time. We are the best of the best of the best. We are the most powerful of what was left of what we came to be. So we have to understand that this opposing forces has been amplified now to the star of your birth. They stole your birthday. This is what they did. They stole time from us. And they stole time from us very simply by that Gregorian calendar. If you have take down the Gregorian calendar off your wall. I hope everybody listening has our Ipeteru Ashabi Temtuaru Pamat and our new installment of the SHN-NU legend. You will begin to see and to begin to embrace this divine birthright. And I'm here only to help you remember. Everything I'm going to tell you, you already know. You just have a bad case of memory loss because of our conditioning and programming and the food that you're eating. So now as we're moving along, let me just get right back to the source of why we are in the predicament that we're in. How can they pass down to their children how to maintain our mental, physical, spiritual subjugated and our slavery, our mental incarceration, how they can pass it down to their children and their descendants. Yet we cannot pass down to our children and our descendants how to bring about our liberation and to give us our divine birthright of immortality. For 4,500 years, this has been happening. It's called His Story. And this is in honor of this month here, this fraudulent Gregorian calendar month, which you call Black History Month, which is the most idiotic thing that you could say out your mouth, just to even say his story. We have nothing to do with his story. This is Black Our Story Month. We are celebrating this today, our story. The dialogue and narrative we're about to speak has always everything to do with our story. I have nothing to do with history, even though I have scholarship, but I am not a scholar. I'm here to reveal to you our story through the cosmic revelation, through the star gospel. And we will get to it in a minute. I usually have my bell here. We hit the bell. Bing! When you hear the bell, The next words that you hear are supposed to be the cosmic breath, the cosmic revelation, the star gospel, the self-creation of Ra Never Teshuvah, the precious treasure of immortality. This is called the cosmic thought. We're going to go there in a minute. I just want to lay a foundation of our present. The first card is our the first card. What is the first card again, Queen Mother Goddess? The first card is our present situation. Present situation. Write that down, please. Because, you know, I go cosmic and it takes me time to come back to where we was again. And then the next card is the opposing forces. Bingo. That's your foundation right there. That is polarity, cause and effect, right? Attraction and repulsion, universal dualism. You have to work this out scientifically, mathematically, with your cultural, cosmic, collective, conscious spirituality. You always have to keep this conversation triangulating. Remember, we're inside a primordial temple discipline. This is the Naga ship. I need everybody to use their cosmic sense, not your common sense. We have no common sense. That's the Greeks. The Greeks are fond of logic. We're not logical people. We're cosmic people. We're cultural, cosmic, collective, conscious spirituality people. So let's find out. Let's just go right through this. I hope this is more than 2 hours, Queen Mother, because I usually have things narrated, but it never goes the way I want to.
I know, and you are, it's a care, Sba, a care. We have an hour and a half scheduled and planned, so everyone plan to be here at least an hour and a half. Right now, Sba Ptah Skr Asar has mentioned the 5 golden rules of the living at least twice. So I think it's appropriate that we go into that right now.
Yeah. Yes, definitely. So everybody understands, because if not, then you're still flagellating. Remember, the word of today is to flagellate. We're not trying to whip ourselves. And you know what I mean? The guys in India, they call the Hindus, the Hindus, they whip, they flagellate and flog themselves all day, every day. But at least they know why they're doing it. Do you know why that you flagellate yourself? Why do you wake up? Why do you wake up with the UNPP? The unnecessary pain and punishment, and then you inflict it down to your children. You send your children to the same thing that they sent your mother sent you through, and it becomes a continuous vicious cycle. Let's break the cycle. Let's begin to heal. To begin to heal, we must begin to know the 5 golden rules of the living. Rule number 1 is to eat of the seed. To eat only of the seed. If it doesn't have a seed, don't put it in your mouth. In your mouth. The only thing you put in your mouth that doesn't have a seed is water, and also, I forgot this, and also your mother's nipple. Don't forget your mother's nipple.
Don't forget the nipple.
Don't forget the nipple. So the only thing, eat only of the seed. The only other thing besides a seed that you put in your mouth is water and your mother's nipple. Let's just make this very clear. This is called the living. This is called the living. Not the diet. We don't have a diet, because die is in the word. In etymology, you have to look at the etymology. This is where you become flagellated again with the etymology, the etymological terms. You have to remember to break down each and every word and bring it back to its most primordial source and into the Medunetta, and you'll be okay. Rule number 2 is
never eat.
Rule number 1 is eat of the seed. Rule number 2 is never eat and drink at the same time. This simply means don't mix your solids with your liquid. You know, when you're eating and you're always washing something down. That is not about Atia. That is not the way the Nagas and the Shemtarus and the Netsubitis and the Hemets and Sba Ptah Skr, the immortal ones of Ma'at do not eat like this. Because when you eat and drink at the same time, you create an acidy brew. You mixing your solids with your liquids. It creates an acidy brew. And everybody starts, you ever see everybody's blown up with the big bellies? The females are blown up sideways. The men got big bellies like Buddha. They're losing their hair. You're falling apart. It's because of your eating habits. All you have to do is stop. Stop eating and drinking at the same time. When you eat the solids, first you drink your water. And then 2 minutes later, you can start eating, because the water's going right down into your small intestine. The water's going right down into your small intestine. So when you eat, you eat, your body, the food goes through, down your throat, through your sarcophagus, down into your stomach. And then it takes about 45 minutes for it to go into your large intestine. The large intestine is where it exits through your stool. And then after 45 minutes, when it goes into your large intestine, you'll feel it. You'll feel your stomach go, boom. You feel it go, boom. You feel a releasement. Boom. And when that happens, you know the food's digested. Then you drink your liquid. And then the liquids go right down into your small intestine where it goes out your urine. Okay? Right. And that's the way the body's supposed to operate, because the body's only supposed to meant to do three things. It's supposed to digest, it's supposed to heal, and it's supposed to receive the divine revelations of all the frequencies and vibrations and blessings of the universe. But when you eat and drink at the same time, you make the body have to overwork. So now the body's using 85 to 90% to digest, especially if you're eating at night. Some people eat before they go to sleep. The body cannot digest while you're laying down. It's like trying to take a crapper in a stool. Try laying down, take a crapper, see how far you get. And it's like giving birth. They make a female lay down to give birth. It's the same way as moving your bowels. It doesn't happen that way. That's why they're in so much pain. But I would, the great queen mothers give birth. That's got to be the greatest. I don't even want to imagine giving birth, because but anyways, in our cultural spirituality, we have the birthing stone, in which you would see with the great mother goddess, the great queen mother goddess, Nefertiti, Meskenet, and Renunet, and Heteru, and Sekhmet, and all the seven sisters of Heteru, which they call the Hathor sisters, which is in the constellation of Pleiades, which governs the birthing cycles. But they have a birthing stone in which they squat on. But anyways, rule number 4 is...
Rule number 3. Rule number 3.
Rule number 3 is eat as the... 3 is eat as the table earth prepares the food. Meaning from the vine, from the ground, or from the tree. It's only coming from 3 places. And rule number 4 is never eat to your fill. Which means don't glut yourself. Don't overeat. Don't clog down the system, because you're going to shut the whole body down. So don't overeat. Do not glut yourself. Save some food for somebody else, okay? Don't eat everything in the room, okay? And rule number 5 is fast occasionally. For certain periods of the year, one must refrain from eating to cleanse, purify, and detox the body of all contaminants that you have absorbed within the last cycle of your navigation. So these are the 5 rules of the limit. And if you practice these, so when you wake up in the morning, here we go. Present situation, opening your eyes. Let's just get to the point here. How is it that they're controlling us? How is it that they're able to control you every morning and you just don't figure it out? You continuously UPP, flagellation, you love it. You have been conditioned that you wake up in the morning, flagellate yourself. Okay, here, can you hit me on this side, please? You had somebody else here, hit this. Oh, you missed the point. It's out of control. This is not normal. This is not the old normal or the new normal. This is out of control. This is dysfunctional. Like, you don't know that you're the universal monarchs. You don't know that you are the Nagas, the Shensurus, and the Subitis. We rule this universe. We've been traveling this universe for millions and millions of years. This is just one stop off here. So when you wake up in the morning, let's get right to it. You wake up in the morning, you turn to the left, you turn to the right, you got that freaking Gregorian calendar on your wall. Now they got you on the lunar cycle calendar. Remember, they already got you as a prisoner of war, of maritime law, of a corporation called the United States of America. You are a prisoner of war. Read it. Everybody knows you're a prisoner of war, but you. Everybody knows that you're a mental, physical, subjugated slave, but you. Everybody knows that your name is injured humanity, but you. It's in the doctrines of the Commonwealth of the United States of America and of the British colonies all over the world that we are called injured humanity. Just Google it, the happy children of Africa. And it is their duty to inflict mental, physical, spiritual, subjugated pain upon you 24 hours a day to unleash the wrath of their God on you every single second of the day. Black lives do not matter. It's a decree in equity. Everybody knows that black lives don't matter. It's the law to kill all black people, to never teach them how to read, and to never, ever, ever teach them how to tell cosmic time. I'm happy to be on Crumb TV.
We're happy to
where I
have
can
you
be
here,
myself.
Sba.
To be myself. I've been on,
That's
on
right.
other platforms. I gotta, I have to be Mr. I got to be rigid and I got to have etiquette.
And
I
be
don't
all
care about
squared
your
away.
feelings. Exactly. I do not care about your feelings. I'm here for my Shemsurus, my Nagas, my Nesubitis, my Hemets, my Sibats, my Munatats, the immortal ones of my heart. We are at war. I got mothers crying, I got babies dying, and I got stars aligning. I am here for my first frequency Sibas only, specifically, first frequency specifically. And I'm glad to be home in the Crumb TV that I may express this in a loving manner.
That's
and
right.
make a little humor here and there, and get serious here and there, but always projecting the cosmic thought. Okay, so everybody can understand we have to get there, but we got to remember. We have to remember how to get there. That's why join the Nagaship, the Nagaship Association, and we have a secure social media network. We have our own melanated Facebook, our own melanated Twitter and Instagram. Join the Nagas. Do we have the pin? You got the thumbnail for that, Queen Mother Goddess? Or the flyer for everyone to know about the Nagaship and our secure social media. Okay, well, when you get a chance, don't worry about it. We'll get to it. Okay. And at the Nagaship, you join the Nagaship and you get our virtual intellectual classes and studies. We do not educate you. We are not about education. We're about cosmic awareness, spiritual consciousness, and universal enlightenment. And we have a plethora of Sibas and Sibats who are now becoming integrated into our algorithm, and you can join and get the subatomic package. And I'm doing a promotion here for the Nagaship right now because I want to lead everybody to this here. But anyways, let's bring it back down again. So we're prisoners of war. They stole our time. How did they steal our time? They gave us a lunar cycle calendar. So now we're going into the calendar. Let's get into the SHN-NU. This is the birth of the SHN-NU legend. This is the SHN-NU legend here. And as the Queen Mother Goddess is going to show you the flyer again with the SHN-NU legend, and you'll be able to see the schematics, the diagrams. You'll be able to see the chromatics of how this SHN-NU legend can tell us exactly where we are in time and space. And now you're able to perform your Hesi, your Saku, your affirmation. Remember, the Hesi, Saku, and affirmation remains the same, whether it's to the great Mother Goddess Asma Ma'at Tefnut or,
As Ermut Patnetru Panabu.
As Ermut Patnetru Panabu.
Not Asma Atefnut. No.
Yes. Asma Tefnut did her Hesi to Ra Neber Teshuvah. That's an advanced Hesi. She's been in the class for years. So, okay, but we want to begin everyone else off with Asma As Ermut Patnetru Panabu. As Ermut Patnatru. As Ermut Patnatru means the great Mother Goddess As, the mother of all the gods and goddesses. That's what it means in Medunetta. This is As Ermut Patnatru Panabu. She is the mother of all initiations. So we are being initiated into the sacred doctrines of our immortality and our cultural cosmic collective spirituality. We must pass through her. And so, thank you. And this door leads us to the precious treasure. This is what they stole from us, and they replaced it with more flagellation. We end up getting so what they stole our cosmic time and replaced it with the lunar cycle calendar. What is the lunar cycle calendar? It doesn't matter whose calendar it is. White person, black person, Chinese person, whatever calendar you got. If it's got 30 days in a month, if every month has 30 days, it's a lunar cycle calendar. And a lunar cycle calendar is only good for agriculture. It's good for growing crops. It's good for measuring the high tides and low tides. It's good for the woman's menstrual cycles and the seasons and the the regulating of the inundation and receding of the Nile River. Other than that, so this becomes a mechanism for controlling your mind. Everybody knows that. Can you show that picture I asked you to come up with? Queen Mother got us with the 3 seasons. Because this is for all you learned scholars. For those of you who don't think that, who think that Akhet is the first method of our Khemetic ancestors. That is Akhet, Perth, and Shemu. They got the seasons so flipped out that you wouldn't even know. This is during, no, the one with it's got 3 figures. 3 seated figures. Take your time. I'll keep talking. There's 3 seated figures.
Okay.
It should be in that. Okay, 3 seated figures.
I got you.
There you go. Now this picture here. So the first calendar reform that you should know is 754 BCE. It's called 754 AUC, Ab Urbe Cordita, which means upon the founding of the city of Rome. AUC, which means Ab Urbe Cordita, and then translated in Latin from English to Latin is called upon the founding of the city of Rome, which is 754 BCE. That one on the right there, yes, that one on the far. The one on the far right, yes. And you can keep all 3 of them, because that one in the middle, we're going to use that one to emphasize that. We're going to use the one in the middle to emphasize the one on the right, but we're going to use the one on the right now. Okay. This comes out of the pyramid text of a 6th dynasty. I hate to use the word dynasty because now we're using historical contents. It comes from the pyramid text of let's see what that says down there. The pyramid text. Oh, there it is. There at the bottom down there. There it is. There, Teta, right there with the shadow where you got the arrow right there. That's the shadow, right? It says Teta. That comes from the pyramid of Teta. Okay, that's from the pyramid text of Teta. So it's obviously that the Nesubiti Teta was a Shemsu set. He couldn't have been a Shemsu. He couldn't have been a Shemsu. Because in our cultural cosmic collective concept of spirituality, there are only 2 types of people on this planet. We're all melanated and we're all Nagas. But are you a Shemsuru or are you a Shemsu set? This is what you have to understand why your teachers are teaching you. Because you could be being taught by a Shemsu set right now and don't even know it. If he's telling you that depiction, yes, Queen. Yes.
Could you tell us the difference between a Shemsu Haru
and a Shemsu set? Absolutely. We're gonna absolutely. So Rod, we came from a direct issue of Rod Nebuchadnezzar, the creator of all things, and after the creator spoke his name and came into being to the 4 attributes of manifestation, to the 4 primary field forces. He first released himself. First day, I hate to say he, because the creator was he and she, masculine and feminine. Right. So they first released themselves, then they sought out themselves. They overcame the sensation of weightlessness, and they acquired the ability to experience the phenomenon of being, which became the 4 primary field forces, the 4 attributes of manifestation, so on and so forth. And the creator said, and now I please me to make others. So I went from Netcha 1 to Netcha 3. I made these beings in the manner in which all things are made. I write up a Teshuvah, the he, the she, the mother and father of all existence. I embrace my shadow and grasp my member, and I love myself. I issued forth the Netcha Shu, and I multiplied his forms millions and millions of times. I gathered a portion of the remains and I swallowed them, and I brought forth Tefnu. They are my heart and soul twins, same as one and same book. Shu and Tefnu gave birth to Seb the earth and Nut the sky. Seb the earth and Nut the sky. We will tell you about how this happens and how the 360 day to 365 day within the calendar. We're going to tell you about that. But when they had reunion, it became from 360 to 365 days. These 5 days are known as the Pagawa days in Greek, which are known as the Neferu Renpet, Neferu Mesu Renpet, Neferu Mesu Twa, which means the days that the earth netches were born. There were 5 of them. And their names are Heru, Asar, Sut, As, and Nebhet. Asar and As gave birth to Heru, and Heru and Het-Heru gave birth to the Shemsurus, the 4 children of Heru. Their names are Mesta, Hapi, Twamatef, and Quetzalcoatl. Now these 4 children gave birth to the Shemsurus who populated the earth, from these 4 children who became the 4 tribes, the original 4 tribes of the earth, and they became the Shemsuru. I am a Shemsuru. If you are a descendant of the light on the course to immortality, you're a Shemsuru. But of course, we had another brother who came from Set. Set had children, and they became the Shem-Su'erus. And there was a time when the Shem-Su'erus were cool. They're my brother. They're cool, but it's just as above, so below. As we move through this 26,000-year cycle of Phenomenon of Precession, there's a 2,100-year cycle there within that 24,000 to the next 26 to the next 2,000, which comes 26,000, where this portal opens up and they get a chance to have their way. And this is what they do. They change the calendar. This is how this cycle, this finesse, this chess move that happens, been going on for millions and millions of years. The last time it happened was with 754 AUC, which is Ab Urbe Kotita upon the founding of Sidereal. For you scholars who want to do your due diligence, just Google First Calendar Reform 754 AUC Ab Urbe Kotita upon the founding of the city of Rome. And this is when they took our calendar from a solar, sidereal, and lunar calendar and made it a lunar cycle calendar, where every 29.5 days the moon has the moon waxes and wanes. So now what's very important about that is every 130 years, one unearned day is added to the calendar under a lunar cycle orbit. Let me reiterate. Every 130 years, one unearned day is added to the calendar on the lunar cycle orbit. So you're not going to see this adjustment in your lifetime. Neither will your child, nor your next descendant. But the fifth and sixth descendant down the line, 500 years later, the sun doesn't line up at the spring equinox. And so if the sun doesn't line with the spring equinox, the sun drifts. And if you keep letting it drift, and after 700 years, and then you plant the seed in the spring, the crops are not going to grow. So this is how we caught them, because they forgot to keep adjusting the calendar back to the zero again on that lunar cycle, because they're so busy gorging us in Africa, making you their slaves, raping our women, taking all the oil and diamonds and rubies, and just exploiting us and putting us on the slave market for hundreds and for thousands of years. They're having so much fun, they forgot about the 130 years, 100 days added to the calendar. They remembered it when the crops didn't grow, though, when nobody got fed. And so they said, well, what happened? So they went back to the playbook. Remember, they got a playbook. They got a playbook that you don't even know about. You're playing tennis on a basketball court. You cannot play tennis. You can't play football on a baseball diamond. You have to have the proper grid, okay? So let us all come upon the right grid. So this is what that picture shows you. Show us that picture again, Queen Mother Goddess, of the 3 seasons. Now, this is the most primordial, the oldest seasonal calendar that you could find. This is it. It's the 6th dynasty that they call 6th dynasty, the one on the right. Can you isolate that? You'll see the one on the far right would say, it says, okay, keep going. The one on the far right says, let's get the Medunetta. It's a Medunetta class here, everybody. Everybody get out your pen. Get your work in, get your work in. So there's 3 seasons. The 3 seasons are Shemu, Aket, and Pert. So Shemu, we know the water, the month season with the water has to be the first month. You don't need to be a rocket scientist. The Khemetic people, they're telling me I've been exiled out I got 9 days, there's not 9 days in a week. They tell me that what I'm telling you is pseudo information. So I'm here to bring the mathematical equation to the Ramech, to the peoples. Let them see the mathematics. Let them see the science, and let them see the cultural spirituality and astrology and astronomy. Let them find absolute accountability and stability, and let the people make the decision. Let the people place the information in the scale. Oh, the people can't do that. They're not smart enough. We have to teach them. You ain't got to teach them. You're not smart enough to teach yourself. I don't need no dummy teaching my people. Somebody that missed the class. How can you not count to 9? Everybody knows there's 9 days in a week. Before the Romans and the Greeks, there were 9 days in every week. And time was kept by charting stars that were visible on our calendar, aware of the movement of Earth, stars, and moon. These ancient African indigenous primordial ancestors were cosmically attuned. We know that Julius Caesar there was 10 months in a year. Julius Caesar came in, he made July became 11th, got 11th month. We went from 9 days to 8. We went from 10 months to 11. Julius Caesar got assassinated, then came Augusta. We went from 8 months to 7. We went from 11 months to 12. We know that Dice means 10, but it's our 12th month. We know Nove in Latin means 9. It's our 11th month. We know octo, an octogram, has 8 sides. We know an octopus has 8 tentacles, but yet it's our 10th month. Who missed the class here? Are you master students? Don't tell me you're a master student. You can't count to 10. You can't count to 9. There's 9 planets in the solar system. That's the 9 days in a week. There are 9 Quatnetarules. There are 10 months because 9 plus the sun is 10. 10 months. Each month has 36 days, which is a sidereal calendar. A sidereal calendar is the time it takes. This is if you Google it. The time it takes for the star Septet, Osiris, to break the horizon, to traverse the elliptic plane, and return to its original position in respect to the fixed stars of the sidereal year. That's what you're going to get. Everybody knows that's 8,766 hours. Now you have to apply your mathematics. Remember, you have to do the work. But all you have to remember is to triangulate. This is the metaphysical manifestation of the cosmic revelation. You have to keep triangulating yourself. Sacred science, divine math, your cultural, cosmic, collective conscious spirituality. Never religion. Never religion. There was a time I used to say there was no math without religion, no science without religion, no religion without science. But now there is no science without cultural spirituality. There's no cultural spirituality without science. And we need mathematics to equate it all within the all of all. So all I'm here to do is help you remember, because all we're here to do is assemble the dismembered body parts of our paternal father, Asar Unefa Kentiamenti. This is the great golden age of Asar. We used to call it Ma'at Asar, but now we moved Ma'at back down to where Libra was and took Upawat out, because we had started off with Ma'at Asar. We was breaking down that they got it as Aquarius. Aquarius is a water bearer. So when the water comes out, you get cleansed. Cleanse is being purified, so that's Ma'at. And then the water becomes Hapi. And then we know it's the age of Asar because Uncle Set is in Pisces. And so wherever Set is, Uncle Asar has to be right next to it. So we called it Ma'at Asar. You know, it's been 50 years. I've been working on this for 50 years. So the Khemetic people are going to tell me, oh, there's 10 days in a week. If there's 10 days in a week, that means there's only 3 weeks in a month. And 10 is 30 days. And so just to tell me, this tells me how unhinged they are, that they're suffering from PTSS, post-traumatic slave syndrome. To even think that you could even tell me this, and I'm going to think that you're right, to know that I could count mathematics. And I know that the moon wax and wanes 29 and a half days is the movement of the moon. So if you have a calendar that has 30 days in a month, it's a lunar cycle calendar. You don't have to be a genius to figure this out. This is basic mathematics. So now this Gregorian calendar is so fraudulent and nobody's saying nothing. Here it is. What is this? This is February. Okay, everybody knows there's 28 days in February. And then every 4 years, there's a leap year, comes 29. But ask yourself, the next month, how many days are in the next month? You don't know. How many days are in the next month? You don't know. How many days in the next month? You don't know. There's either 30, there's 31. You know. So here's what you got to do. You got to sing a nursery rhyme. 30 days has September, April, June, and November. All the rest have 20. All the rest have 31, except for February. There's 28 and 29 leap year. They got you singing nursery rhymes. It's out of control. And you find this normal. You actually think, because, I can't, that's the calendar. You really don't even want to know about the calendar. All you want to know is what day is payday. What day I can leave the plantation, stop flagellating myself, and get me some dough so I can go make it rain. Get me some Buddha. Yes, Queen Mother. Am I drifting?
Before we make it rain, and before we all that, yes, drink your drink. I appreciate that. That was going to be my request.
I'm back on Crumb TV.
Yeah, drink a little bit.
I'm happy to be home.
That's what we do. So before we pop bottles and make it rain, you have came here today also prepared to speak to us about Ankh does not mean life.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Another fraudulent information of fraudulation of whipping ourselves. Now, we know that Ankh does not mean life. First of all, this is the Ankh. The Ankh is known as the key of life. Now, it is the key to life, but it does not mean life. So before you take us into the ZP-TPII, Queen Mother, you think they're ready to go to ZP-TPII that quick? You think they're ready to go from mental, physical, spiritual, subjugated slaves into the cosmos that quick?
Well, you know what? I don't
mention,
even know if you remember, but you have briefed them on the ZP-TPII already. You giving them parts of it.
Yes.
So you kind of warmed them up. So yeah, they ready. Master students.
Did. Oh yeah,
ready.
I did.
We stay ready.
You master students. I know you're ready.
Right.
I know my Shemsu rules. I know my Shemsu rules are ready. Dua, Sibat, and Sibat. Move the touch. What the ones of my. Okay, so let's just break this down first of all. Let's start here. Everybody got one of these in their ears, around their neck, and their nose, tattooed all over them. It does not mean the vagina. It does mean that. It can mean that, the vagina and the phallus and the children. That's a nice interpretation. But that's for Sunday school kids. That's something you hear in Sunday school. Okay? You have to break this down through your cultural, cosmic, collective, cultural, spirituality. Remember, triangulate it. That's all you got to do. If somebody isn't triangulating, they're treating you like an imbecile. Okay? Somebody is becoming predatorial. You are becoming violated. Now break this down with the cosmic revelation, the cosmic breath, the Nagaship, the divine cosmic revelation. That is the Khemetic. Before we get to the Khemetic, let me hold up, Queen Mother. Let me just hit him with this.
All right.
This is the Ankh. This is the Ankh. The Ankh, first you have the egg at the top. And the egg represents the zero. The zero represents the primeval ocean of nothingness. And inside this ocean of nothing, everything that is, was, and shall be is contained. And if I was to express this numerically, I would have to go to nothing. So there's your circle. The next, the creator created two, Shu and Tefnut. And Shu and Tefnut had union, and they gave birth to Seven-Nut, and Seven-Nut gave birth to the 5 earth nectars. That is your cultural, cosmic, collective, cultural, spirituality. So we go from the Netarus, which are Mester Happy Twanutef and Quemsinuf, who came from Heru and Heru, and Heru came from Asar and Aset, Asar and As, and Asar and As came from Seven-Nut, and Seven-Nut came from Shu and Tefnut. Now you're back up to the plane here. Now Shu and Tefnut, came from Seven-Nut, and Seven-Nut came from Shu and Tefnut. And Shu and Tefnut came from the direct issue of Ra-Nefer-Teshuvah. Now, you relate this scientifically, you know that there's 4 primordial field forces. The scientific force fields or field forces are electromagnetism, weak force, strong force, and gravity. And then we know that Ra-Nefer-Teshuvah, before he came, Ra-Nefer-Teshuvah had 4 attributes. The 4 attributes of manifestation is Temu, to think. There's Temu in the top left corner. The bottom right is Ptah. The top right is Amen. And the bottom left is Kepra. These are the 4 attributes of manifestation of Ra-Nefer-Teshuvah. So when you place all these together, but Ra-Nefer-Teshuvah came out of the primeval ocean of nothingness. Now inside this ocean of nothingness exist beings of energy, thought, feeling, and motion. Turn that picture back to the Khemetic where we started from the beginning. That picture you kept jumping to the Khemetic. You set the right into the primeval ocean that quick. You gonna freeze somebody's brain up, Queen Mother. You know that.
The master students, we can handle it. Master students,
okay,
we
you
can handle it. Give it
all
to
right.
them, Sba.
That's the 3 seasons on the pyramid text. I need the one with the black and white, silhouette. Yes, so these will be the Khemetic. Now those people who know the Khemetic would say the names are Ankh Ankhet or Amen Amenet and Nununet Kekeke. Okay, but we know that's an acronym to spell out Ankh, to make you think that Ankh still means life. So they're working you. This is called the paralysis analysis. You're going in here to find the analysis to the paralysis, and they're setting you up as a victim to suffer the paralysis of the analysis. When you suffer the paralysis of the analysis, this means that they have disconnected your brain from your spinal cord. Your electromagnetic connection has been disconnected. That's called lobotomized. So you will become Hellenized and lobotomized because of not understanding the basic function of the concept of being. Because this is what our doctrines is all about. Our doctrines, our cosmic breath, our cosmic revelation, the Star Gospel, is all based upon the concept of being, of self-creation, and the concept of being. So let's see the diagram, Queen Mother. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and you're good. Yeah, I had a question. So when we look at this diagram and we speak of Noon and Noonet, could you talk to us about the feminine with the T on the end, so those who don't know that the difference between
absolutely
the head and head.
Absolutely. So at the right. Okay. So at the top left, on the top left, you see the three bases. The three bases. One base represents Nu, and Nu would have the water next to it. And then the three waters go up under it, and then that determinative underneath it, that phonetic determinative, and that's the vault of the sky, which they call Pet, the sky. Okay. Now that usually that accompanies Nu all the time. Okay, but on the other far end, that's masculine. But on the far right, you see the three bases with the vault of the sky, which people call heaven. That's the symbol in God and science that they call heaven. There is no heaven, there is no hell. The more European concept, all there is perpetual continuance, which is inside the ocean, or continuous evolution, which is part of the expanding universe. And so on the far right, you see the three bases, which means Nu, and then the water is a determinative, because in Medunetta you have your alphabetical, you have phonetical, you have unilateral, bilateral, trilateral, and you have your determinatives. So anyways, go back to the picture. Let's just give them that whole thing there. And then there's the feminine aspect of this name would be there's the T. See the seated figure is a female, and then there's a T. The T is in front of her face, and underneath the T is an egg. So you would either see the T would mean feminine, and the T with the egg gives you a specific confirmation that it is a feminine entity. Okay, so underneath everything under the right, you'll see the T and the egg, and at the end, in front of the egg, see the T and the egg. T, that's the feminine. On the one in front of it, there's no T and no egg because that's masculine. Okay, so let's just deal with the names of. So here we go. Nu. We know Nu is the first Khemetic. What is the Khemetic? The Khemetic comes out of the Heliopolis text. Comes out of the text of Hermopolis in Greek. They call it Hermopolis. Hermopolis is Hermes. Hermes is Greek for Mercury, or the guy who got the wings on his feet in Greek mythology. But he comes from Jehuti, which they call Thoth. So you might know Jehuti, the ibis head nature, as Thoth or Tehuti or Hermes. Okay, that's all fraudulent, corrupted etymology. We're using pure Medunetta here. We're calling him Jehuti. Okay, and out of the text of Jehuti, which is called the Khemetic, and in the Khemetic, the creation goes right into the primeval ocean of nothingness. So inside this primeval ocean of nothingness is the ocean of Nu, and the ocean of Nu is first. So that's Nu, the first Medunetta you see on the top right, top left. And it's reading from left to right, whichever way the face is moving, looking, or whichever way the characters are pointing, like that bird underneath the next one, that quail, which is a chicken. God in the sign list calls it a quail. That's looking to the left. So you're reading from left to right. So that would be the next one. Here's another one. That one came. Okay, let's use that one. Save that one for the next one. That's good. I didn't know you had that one. So this one says, so the first one says Nu. Nu is the primeval ocean of nothingness, where everything is, was, and shall be is contained, which is called oblivion, which is called dark energy. Okay, these are terms that are used in other schools of thought. Now the next one is Kek, is He. So He would be the two twisted cords, which are like DNA or life waves, and you put the sun disk in the middle, and that says He. And He in Medunetta means eternity. It means everlasting. Okay? That says Hehu. That says Hehu. And okay, and then behind it says Hehut, which is his female counterpart. Okay? Because these are the primordial eight, and they're usually depicted with frog heads and snake heads. So anytime you see in your studies the frog and the snake heads, these are usually called the ancient ones, who are called the Khemetic, who are known as the Ogdad. Okay? And so now He means eternity. And then Ke or Keku means darkness. So darkness becomes So if Het means eternity, so Kek comes before Heh. Okay, so we got to put them in order to find being. If not, you're just going to get life. Either way, you're going to get some information, but we want to get total. We want to have absolute accountability and star validation, so that our Medu Netta produces the proper frequency, because that's what Medu Netta is. It's a frequency. It's a vibration, and then when you produce the sound, it produces the resonance, and this incites this electromagnetic charge. This is where the word Heka, which means magic, which means the electron. They say it's magic. This is the electricity. But anyways, let's continue. So the third word down is Kek, has to be moved up to the second one, because Keku represents darkness. See the Aka, the sky, and something's coming down out of it. That Usa, that is the determinative, the phonetic determinative, which produces the void of deep, dark, cold space. So Kek becomes darkness, and darkness becomes the vacuum of space. We're talking subatomic energy here. So we're talking the void of deep, dark, cold space. Now, Het becomes the third primordial Ogdad, because Het means eternity, or forever, or everlastingness. So Het is the sun disk is in the middle. And if the sun disk is in the middle, this means the distance of the light from these 2 points represents eternity. So Het becomes the measurement of the void of Kek. So Kek is boundless and ever-reaching, but within Kek is Het, and Het is the measurement of this void. Okay, and now the last one is they have QRH, okay, which is, and then there's the hand. That arm there is a mathematical equation of a measurement that I just spoke of. So they added that one in, but that has to be taken out. That whole bottom name has to be taken out, and we replace it with either Ankh and Ankhet, or Amen and Amenet. So we're going to use Amen and Amenet, because Amen means the hidden one. And Amen represents, scientifically, Amen represents the primordial mound. And mathematically, or as a field force, Amen represents gravity. So now we're identifying the 4 primordial field force of electromagnetism, weak force, strong force, and gravity. And this is what you would learn in the ZP-TPII of the KINDLE. But yet, these teachings here are still only focusing directly on the inside the primary emotional nothingness. So you would learn that any oblivion or Nu, the primary emotional nothingness, dark energy, or the cosmological constant. You would learn, especially in my book, The Cosmic Egg, aka the Primeval Germ, a journey of 59 plus 21 zeros. You would know that oblivion is a place of perpetual continuance, where particles of existence are reduced to its lowest common denominator, invisible strings and strands. It is a form of existence that connects the concept of subspansion and expansion. Its boundaries are endless and ever-reaching, indicating that it is the outer cover of the universe of radiation and light, and the inner cover that encloses the universe of dualism. This is the place of the All of Alls, the Holy of Holiest. This is the place of the All of Alls, the Holy of Holiest. Okay, I drew a blank on that one, Queen Mother. My mind is I'm gonna take myself cosmic.
Yep. So since we cosmic,
okay, so here we are.
You mentioned the cosmic egg, so this is a picture of it.
Okay, exactly. So here we go. Back to the mathematical equation. Everybody got the Khemetic, because we still got to do the Shabaka stone. We still got to do the pyramid text. We still got to do the coffin text. We still got to do the Mastaba text. We still got to do the Book of Noah and Evolutions of Ra. We still got to do the and we just did the Khemetic. So you got to put them all together. And still, I just gave you the basic one from inside the pyramid text, which is in my book, which is a compilation of all 7 of the cosmogonies. And we put it together to explain it to you in a primordial temple discipline manner that explains it with all the frequencies. But what you're getting now is a scattered what you see in history and inside the public domain on the www. Okay, there's the cosmic egg. So show them the cosmic egg, and that's what's on the Ankh now. So here it is. That picture there is called the cosmic egg. And that picture was taken. That's my book there, The Cosmic Egg, aka the Primeval Germ, a journey of 59 plus 21 zeros. This cosmic egg came from, on the bottom right is the Kobe satellite. On the left side of that picture on the bottom right, on the left-hand side, is the Kobe satellite. That picture of the egg there is called WAPA. Okay? And this is, so the Kobe satellite took a picture inside of the darkest part of the universe, and they came up with this egg-shaped anomaly. It's called CBR, cosmic background radiation, or it's called CBMR, cosmic background microwave radiation, which is the cosmic egg, they call it. And they know because of the red and blue heat signature that it is the molecular appearance from the source of all creation. So here it is, that egg right there that they found in 1989 is on top of our symbol of the Ankh. And so this means that my ancestors knew of this egg-shaped anomaly millions and millions of years ago. So this is what you have to understand, that we've already known about this. We have a GUT. We have a grand unification theorem. We have the RSGUT, the Rasaurian star grand unification theorem. It's in my book, The Cosmic Egg, aka The Primeval Germ, a journey of 59 plus 21 zeros. Everyone should make sure they have their book of The Cosmic Egg. You can get it on my website of thenagaship.com. You can get it on the Queen Mother Goddess Joy Allen's Etsy account. You can get it
there's
by
links in
going
the
to my
description.
PayPal account.
Yeah,
Yes,
your
you have to have this.
information.
Everybody should have this book.
Yeah, it comes free with the purchase of the calendar as well as the MP3.
And it comes free.
Those links are in the description. And also from time to time, when the platform that I am on with Sba Ptah Skr Asar, we have some segments where we give away free calendars. So if for some reason you cannot or you don't, you can get one for free. So the links are below in the description for our platform where you can join us in the future on one of our broadcasts and receive a calendar and get more information, more knowledge of the calendar itself as well.
Absolutely. So we like to produce our receipts, our evidence, as we are on Crumb TV. And with Crumb TV, my brother, the master student, the master teacher, you got to bring your receipts. You have to bring your evidence. Mostly our evidence are within the cosmic environment, within the cosmic forces that allow you love, guidance, protection through the daily experience of ponderable matter. It's like time. Back to time again. First of all, everybody got to know how to tell time. You can't know how to tell time. Do you know what time is? What is time? Time is the movement. Hey, champ, the champ Nunez. I just got my calendar. Dua usiba. Panata pupamara onkwase jet. Uncle Johnson them. Ubene lefikia. Pane buaru mati. Dua usiba.
Yeah, I sent him his calendar, so I'm glad you have it. Dua u.
Dua u.
Good.
So now everybody can understand that the light is atomic energy. It's an atom. It has a proton, a neutron surrounded by a nucleus. It has an electron, okay, which is atomic energy, okay, and it's part of the expanding universe. But the light has a mirrored reflection, which is radiation. Radiation is subatomic. So, what is time? Time is the movement or measurement. Time is the movement or measurement of the light through the void of deep dark cold space from one point or distance to another. Speed 198,000 miles per second. Light is the absence of darkness, and darkness is the absence of light. Light is the giver of Ankh, life, being to all things upon the terrestrial plane within the atomic domain. Now, Ankh life is the awareness and consciousness of being. Ankh life is the generic expression of the light that's only found in three forms: solids, liquids, and gases, the elements, matter, the netarus. However, the light, atomic energy, Kepra, the hydrogen atom, the expanding universe, the light is not the origins of existence and the creation and development of the universe. The light has a mirrored reflection, and that is radiation, which is the cosmic egg. The cosmic egg is known in science as radiation, okay, which is the cosmic egg, Ra Nebuchadnezzar. So then you start to begin to break things down. So now we're dealing with science now, because we know that the Earth has three motions. What are the three motions of the Earth, my master teacher students? The Earth rotates on its axis. No, the Earth rotates, right? It rotates 24 hours and 35 minutes in every day, or 24 hours in every day. 24 hours and 35 minutes means it's 365 days, as is the second motion is the revolution around the sun. Or under 24 hours, it's 365 and a quarter days. But under 24 hours and 35 minutes, it's 24 hours in a day. So if the Earth rotates, it takes 24-hour rotation. The second movement around the sun is 365 days. But if the Earth rotates 24 hours and 35 minutes, then it takes 360 days. Okay? So one is solar, sidereal, and lunar. That's what this calendar is. This Ipetaru, this legend of the SHN-NU is 24 hours and 35 minutes and 24 hours in every day, because it's based upon a mother equation of 8,766 hours, which makes it a sidereal year. Remember, it takes the time Earth for the star to traverse the elliptic plane and return to its original position in respect to the fixed stars. So now the third motion of the Earth is it's tilted 23.5 degrees from vertical, which makes it wobble. And one complete wobble is called the phenomenon of precession. This is what they stopped teaching you when you're in school. So your child learned about the rotation and the revolution and the tilt, but they stopped you right there. They didn't tell you that the tilt created a 26,000-year orbit. They didn't tell you that the tilt, it manifests into the phenomenon of precession, which they call the Zodiac. We call it the SHN-NU. We don't call it the Zodiac, it's the SHN-NU. First of all, the SHN-NU in Medunetta is the circle with a line underneath it, which represents in Medunetta phonetically that the sun has just broken the plane of the horizon and is beginning to ascend. That is the SHN-NU when you go into Medunetta. So what the ancients did was they took the SHN-NU, and instead of making a circle, they made it oblong, and they made it a SHN-NU. They took the Shen and made it oblong and made it a SHN-NU. And the SHN-NU is what the Nesuts and the Hemets would write their names in. The royalty would write their names inside of a SHN-NU, which you might know as a cartouche. That's a French word for cartridge. When Champollion and Napoleon Bonaparte went to Khemetic and did their French intervention. In other words, they stole everything and did their little feasting on us. They called it the SHN-NU. But we're calling this the cartridge, they called it. So this cartridge turns into the SHN-NU, which is actually the sun rising over the horizon. But what we did was we encompassed the legend of immortality, of time. We encompassed it right inside of the SHN-NU. So the one on the left, top left, is in the book, and the one in the middle, top middle, is the advanced one, which adds in Ramutev's Queb's astrological findings, and then the one on the bottom is the original one with the 7 rings. So these rings move. The outer ring goes to the left, which moves counterclockwise, which means it precesses. It's called the precession of equinox because it precesses. It's going the other way. It's going this way. It's not going clockwise. Everything else is moving clockwise. The outer ring goes counterclockwise. It precesses. It takes the sun 72 years to precess 1 degree. And the sun must precess into 2,160 years in order to pass through 1 great age. There are 12 great ages. 2,160 times 12 equals 24,000 plus 100 with 10 is 25. There's 200 left over in so many odd years. It comes out to 26,000 years. So that everybody knows. Everybody's supposed to know how to tell time. Okay? I'm presenting a mathematical equation to you. You have to work the math out and make sure that Ptah is not blowing smoke on you. This isn't the chickens coming home to roost. I'm not here to inflict flagellation on you. I'm not here to flog you. I'm not here to UNPP, unnecessary pain and punishment. I'm here to deliver your divine birthright. I'm here to lay this lay it on your plate. But I'm only here to lay it on the Shem Suru's plate because only those who follow the doctrines of Ma'at and eat properly and have the proper frequency are going to receive this anyway. You can try to plagiarize this and steal this and sell it to Coca-Cola with all the rest of these foods if you want. I'll take it from the womb to the tomb. I don't want to dine. I just want the future children to get it for the next generation, so they don't have to go through the same stupidness that you're going through, all the unnecessary pain and punishment. Okay, how we doing on time, Queen Mother? We still got a half hour left.
We actually have hit the mark right now. It's been an hour and a half, Sba. You went cosmic, so you probably seem like 5 minutes to you. All right,
well,
so
see if there's anything. See if we get a Q&A in here. Can we bring some of the people, some of our Sba's master students?
Well, we've had some questions, and Jehuti Asar has been answering questions.
No. Oh, he's been answering them. That's good.
He's been in the comment section answering them. Now, one question we have here is, He would?
Yes, he's qualified. Ramutep Queb is qualified, and you're qualified.
And Sba Ramutep Queb actually just joined us in the comment section, so he's been around as well. We do have one question here.
Is the comic egg red or blue? Good question.
Red and blue.
The cosmic egg is red and blue. The cosmic egg is red and blue. The red and blue are heat signatures. This is how they know these red and blue heat signatures are detected on the Kobe satellite through spectral photometers. They detect heat signatures. And when they analyze these red and blue heat signatures, they understand it to represent the molecular appearance from the source of all creation, subatomic energy. It is the molecular appearance from the source of subatomic energy, okay? Which means that, let me just break down what radiation means. Radiation is an energy form that is the result of a supernatural phenomenon, a universal metamorphosis involving beginnings and endings. It is the molecular appearance from the source of all creation. It is the force that drives the universe to expand outwardly and uniformly. It is a living, growing force. And because of this, it was thought to be a germ, the germ of life, the primeval germ of existence. Okay, so that is a very good question. So now that's a scientific question now. So now this is what happens as the Kobe satellite zooms in and captures the egg. All of a sudden, it blurs up. So they got to adjust the resolution, and then they cleared up, and then it fuzzed up again. So something is disturbing the visual contents to the egg. So they're picking up now another heat signature. And as they begin to isolate the heat signature, they find out that this is what they call dark energy. This is where dark energy comes from. They didn't know nothing about dark energy until Kobe took a picture of the egg and something started disturbing the resolution. This is how they found dark energy. So dark energy is equivalent to oblivion. Dark energy is equivalent to the primeval germ. Dark energy is equivalent to what NASA calls the cosmological constant, where everything is, was, and shall be is contained. Now, as they isolated dark energy and they got the resolution, now something else sends another blur in front of it. They're picking up another heat signature. This is dark matter and antimatter. So we call this interference. What is interference? Interference is the principle of spirit that is the one constant. Interference is in the spirituality is called ma'at. There we go right there. These are pictures that are in my book. This is the picture of, this is the model of the universe. There inside, there is the square of the expanding universe in which the creator contained itself. Okay, around that is called oblivion. All them circles going around that symbol in the middle, the symbol in the middle is interference. Interference is the principle or spirit that is the one constant that affects change in the ever-changing universe. It is the spirit of continuation and development. It is the force that causes change and alteration. With its presence, the universe is forced to change, alter, and rearrange. It is unceasing, unalterable, and always at work. Water that is found in three forms, solids, liquids, and gases, are elements that bears witness to interference. Changes in nature occur at random, caused by storm, drought, or environmental relapse. Interference is all of these things. It is the reasons for the colors of light. It is the reason that radiation radiates. It is the master of death. It cannot die. There is no force in the universe that is older than this. Before radiation, there was only radiation, which is the cosmic egg. There was only oblivion. And the spirit of interference existed then. This spirit cannot be isolated from anything. It has something to do with everything. So what we're doing, we're always triangulating. This way here, you know that Ptah's not blowing smoke on you because you cannot triangulate and have mathematics and science and our cultural spirituality unless it lays in balance with the scale. And if it lays in balance with the scale, that means my art is present. I'm doing my duties. This is my duties so that to help you remember. So we're explaining this scientifically. So don't even bring Isaac Newton and Stephen Hawking and Einstein. Isaac Newton couldn't explain gravity. He has his book on Principia. Okay, actions that stay in motion, actions that are in motion will stay in motion unless it's interceded by another force of the same force. They collide. You know, they don't know. Isaac Newton says gravity is action at a distance proceeding from masses. Come on, will you please? Don't be smoking me. I'm from Africa. I'm from
Tell them where you're
Khemetic.
from, Sba.
Okay. Don't blow smoke on me. I'm not from no college. I'm not nobody that's undereducated. I'm intelligent. I don't have no education. I'm not educated. I wouldn't even say that I'm educated. I wouldn't call myself a scholar. But anyways, Isaac Newton, Stephen Hawking, and Einstein could not come up with a grand unification theory. Einstein got the theory of relativity and general relativity. One is the speed of light, and the other one has the curvature of space because he had to adapt for this force called gravity. Nope, they know there's electromagnetism, weak force, there's electromagnetism, strong force, gravity, and the weak force. But nobody could figure out what gravity is. Our ancestors knew what gravity was. It's Amen. I just told you the 4 attributes of manifestation is Temu to think, and then after the creator thought, they pronounce the name as the word of power, and the door opens up. Ptah Meduneta means the door. And as the creator released themselves, I keep saying himself, I'm dogmatic with this masculinity. It's masculine and feminine, everybody. No, sometimes I'm in train. I'm a Sba. Sba means student, and Sba also means teacher in Meduneta. Okay, so as I instruct you, you instruct me. All right, I am just a humble servant of the light. I don't know anything. I'm in learning mode myself. When I talk to you, it helps me teach, just to help in my mouth to embrace the family. I'm learning. Yes, Queen Mother.
We have another question on radiation. Is radiation a prime element? Is radiation considered as ether? How does it correspond with earth, air, fire, and water?
Okay, earth, air, fire, and water is atomic energy, first of all. So you can just take that one, slide that question right over to the side, because you're talking, which is atomic energy. We're talking radiation, and ether, we're talking subatomic. We're talking radiation, we're talking subatomic. Ether is considered the invisible element, which becomes gravity. When you talk ether, you're talking gravity. Radiation is subatomic. So let's break it down, which is in my book, The Cosmic Egg, aka The Primal Germ, Journey of 59 plus 21 0. When you see that radiation is an energy form that is the result of a supernatural phenomenon, a universal metamorphosis involving beginnings and endings. Okay, it is the molecular appearance from the source of all creation. It is the force that drives the universe to expand outwardly and uniformly. It is a living, growing force, and because of this, it was thought to be a germ, the germ of life, the primary germ of existence. So here's how it goes to the book. In the beginning, there is energy, NER, and his name is oblivion. Of course, the name is Nu, probably goes to nothing, dark energy, oblivion, the cosmological constant, depends on what school you come from. We're going to use the word oblivion right now. In the beginning, there is Nur, and his name is Oblivion. Nur in Meduneta means energy, Nur, because Nur spelled backwards is Ren, and Ren is name. And when you pronounce your name as a word of power, you produce the energy, so that everybody knows. In the beginning, there is Nur, and his name is Oblivion. In the end, there is Nur. His name also is Oblivion. Life is derived from power, and power is the result of energy. That is our Rasaurian style grand unification theorem. E plus P equals L. Energy, Ner, plus power, Usa, equals Unk. Life / being. Remember, life, the Unk doesn't mean life. it means being, because Ankh is the key to life, but it's defined as being. So that's why it's E plus L equals P. E plus L equals life / being. Now, the story,
E
now the
plus
text
P.
goes, E is energy, plus P is power, equals L,
life,
which they say is life. But we're telling life, we're just saying
being.
life, and in Medunetta, life is Ankh. Life in English means life spelled in life in English. Life in English. In English, it's life. But in Medunetta, it's Ankh. But we want you to let you know that Ankh does not mean life, it means being. So you have to be able to triangulate in order to extract that which was your cultural spirituality and not that was there implanted in there to corrupt you, to Hellenize you, to get you to suffer the paralysis of analysis. That which was implanted there, that's the stick that's implanted there for you to flagellate yourself. Okay? So you got to remember, it's all, everything is in the public domain is there. It's inserted there for you to flagellate yourself. Yes, Queen Mother.
Another question.
Did I get that question for my man?
Yep. Another one.
If the Kobe can see through.
Do we know if the Kobe can see through the cosmic egg?
See through. Well, they have the LiDAR now. The LiDAR radars that they have in these drones now that they'll go down on the earth and they can go penetrate the jungle, and they're finding new tombs, remains, and everything else. Now, can it penetrate? No, I doubt that sincerely. The cosmic egg is a distance of 59 plus 21 zeros in light years. Okay? So now you begin to understand the dimensions and diameter and dynamics of space itself. So within the dimensions of space, from the innerverse to the outerverse, first you got to understand, you have to read the book and see the dimensions of space. You know that there's an innerverse and an outerverse. And the innerverse encompasses 3/4 of the known universe. An expanding universe is only 1/4. So this is atomic energy that's expanding the universe. So let's go right through it now. In the beginning, there's energy. Its name is oblivion. In the end, there is energy. Its name also is oblivion. Life is derived from power, and power is the result of energy. X-electron, we call Sba Ptah Skr in science X-electron. Everything has one common denominator. That's the electron. Okay, there's a proton, neutron surrounded by a nucleus, has electron. Everything in existence has one mother equation, one common denominator is the electron. Einstein took 24 protons and 16 neutrons, and he smashed them together, trying to find the electron, because they could isolate the proton, they could isolate the neutron, but they can't find the electron, because every time they try to isolate it, the electron moves. Electron has interdimensional properties. It's here, it's there, it's everywhere. They can't catch up to it. So this is what the collider is. They got up these colliders, these atom colliders, looking for the God particle, the boson particle. They're trying to, they send these particles around, then they put it down and say, pow, they smash them together, trying to find one electron. But the electron is interdimensional. But they found, so when they Einstein smashed the atoms, he found the bomb, boom. So they found a new toy to destroy some black people with. So they forgot about that for a while. But anyways, X-electron, I was just talking about X-electrons. Everybody knows what I'm talking about when I say X-electron. X-electron, after releasing, freeing, discharging, or escaping from oblivion, became a source of power. But because this power was dissipating, form and shape was necessary for containment, and the feelings of weightlessness then must be overcome by the controlled emissions of waves and rays of magnetic subatomic particles in all directions after taking shape. These two basic needs were met. This is the origins of subatomic space. This is our story of the self-creation of Sba Ptah Skr. Energy that was lost and now being spent was in need of replacement. This created hunger and the need for replenishment. All the energy was now being dispersed outwardly, allowing form and shape within the newly formed egg, until it was forced to expand beyond itself. This created a great explosion that hurled shell bits of magnetic subatomic particles in all directions, expanding the void of deep dark cold space as they traveled, until finally reaching the pause of magnetic repulsion, where they where they immediately collapsed upon each other and experienced gravity. This created another explosion. A ring of gamma now surrounds the primeval germ. It allows for the recycling of energy inwards and for the replenishing of itself. Some of the energy that is not absorbed inwards was released outward beyond the gamma ring as bits of pure antimatter upon embracing interference, developing a region we call the nursery of the stars as dark body radiation, which are black holes or galaxies. These dark body radiation black holes or galaxies are pushed away from the innerverse and is the realization of the outerverse or the expanding universe. These dark body radiation black holes or galaxies produce atomic energy, light, stars, planet, moons, and life forms until all the above mentioned energy once again into oblivion. These forces will adjust, propel, and expand the continuous perpetual evolution of the expanding universe. Now, this information comes out of my book, comes out the pyramid text, was reposited in my book, and this breaks down that phoniness of Einstein, his hypotheses on E equals MC squared, or Isaac Newton. Isaac Newton was a student. He was a Hermetist. He studied Hermetic teachings. He was a student of Ptolemy the First, Soter, Serapi, September, Rameli, Amen. The Greek Nesubiti, who gave us that first calendar. Okay, it was all designed to bring about your downfall. Isaac Newton couldn't explain gravity. He calls it action from a distance, proceeding from masses. That's the closest he could get to explaining gravity. Gravity is the result of antimatter collapsing upon itself, producing gamma explosions, which release nuclear energy inwards and outwards. The energy that released inwards wasn't always shall be absorbed by the self-created one, Ra-Nebet Teshra. The energy that's released outward beyond the gamma rays is bits of pure antimatter upon embracing interference, developing a region we call the nursery of the stars as dark body radiation black holes and galaxies. These dark body radiation black holes and galaxies are pushed away from the universe and is the realization of the outerverse. These dark body radiation black holes and galaxies produce atomic energy, light, stars, planet, moons, and life forms until all the above mentioned energy once again into oblivion. These forces will adjust, propel, and expand the continuous perpetual evolutions of the expanding universe. And that's in my book. Is only $20. We're gonna bump up the price. They got Dr. Gabriel Yibo has Gij, comma J equals 0. It's going for $150. And it doesn't even explain gravity. You know, the brother's a great brother. He has a great mathematical equation, and he took all the 118 periodical tables of elements. He made it one element. He made hydrogen, a proton, and neutron, surrounded by a nucleus with a neutron. Then he took lithium and put 2 protons, 2 neutrons, 2 electrons, and he made lithium. And he just added one more of each as he went up the scale. So he destroyed the whole Einstein and all that Ptolemaic information on the periodical table, which I thought was genius. Dr. Gabriel Yibo was a genius mathematician, but he does not have a GUT. He does not have a grand unification theorem. Okay? They call it the GUT or the TEO, the theory of everything. The Khemetic, the Shabaka stone, the pyramid text, the Mastaba text, the Heliopolis text, the Theban text, even in the Theban text, even Ptolemy, the text of Philae, even Ptolemy had the Khemetic. Everybody knew how. There's the coffin text on the left. The coffin text is when they put you in the wooden coffin. They decorated it with spells and Medunetta text, which will accompany you and produce the proper frequency for you to find your way back, to find yourself to this Milky Way galaxy, which is the domain of Asar, where you be Ra-born, Ra-Nu, because the Milky Way galaxy produces stars, okay? And you are here to perform your rites of passage, and then to be Ra-born, to be Rasaurianized, and then to be Ra-born, Ra-Nu as a star, to become another star in the process of expanding the universe. This is immortality. It don't get no bit greater than this. That means you're going to live forever and ever. There is no death. There's no death in our language. They got you all lined up for death. Everybody's scared to die. There is no death. There's life, transition, and resurrection. You're not going to get reincarnated. Don't think they got you smoking, thinking you're going to come back to this planet. This is over. You get one shot. You get one shot here. Okay? You get one shot. Okay? The rest it's a continuous perpetual evolution. Once you understand the origins of existence, the creation and development of the universe, you understand where oblivion is, what oblivion does. It is a state of perpetual continuous. The beings exist there as energy, thought, feeling, and non-motion. The creator and the Khemetic, who encircled the creator, performed the Heka, the ritual. The creator spoke their name as the creator power. They opened up the door, became Ptah. Ptah becomes the strong force. Now the creator is nothing but a piece of hair. The creator is nothing but a piece of fiber. That's called astrophysics and quantum mechanics. It's called the string and the strand. The creator's just out there, he's wiggling. He's wiggling and waggling, and all of a sudden, he had to overcome the sensation of weightlessness. This is the pictures right here. It's in the book. And so the creator embraced interference. Interference is universal capacity, universal ma'at. This is a universal ma'at. Ma'at, then you talk about ma'at, you think, oh, ma'at means what is truth, righteous, what is straightforward, balance, reciprocity. Yeah, tell that to your 6th grade students. Don't come to me with this conversation. My name is not, I am not in no Greek education. You have to produce the cosmic voice to me, the cosmic revelation, the cosmic frequency. You have to speak in a cosmic manner. You have to speak scientifically, mathematically, and with our cultural cosmic. This is the way you have to speak to me, or I will revoke your teacher's license. That's why your teachers don't talk to me. None of the teachers will embrace me. I've been producing this calendar. I have been producing this Sba Ptah Skr for the last 50 years. And none of the teachers will engage me. I told them there's 9 days in a week. Well, there's not 9 days. There's not 9 days. There's not 9 days. There's 10 days. Okay, I said, well, if it's 10 days, how come I broke down the mathematical equation you did? So here's where I get your teacher at. I asked your teacher, well, who do you believe in? I know what the Jews believe in. They believe in God. They believe in this entity they cannot see. But they got you believing that it exists. Okay? I got the Christians who believe in some guy named Jesus who never even existed. The Christ existed, but this guy Jesus didn't exist. Jesus was Ptolemy the First, Soter, Serapi, September, Mary, Amen. Everybody knows that. Everybody knows he's Ptolemy the First, Soter, Serapi, September, Mary, Amen. All you got to do is Google Ptolemy the Eighth, Soter Christius, who was the 8th born generation of Ptolemy, and his name was Christius, and he's born in 125 BCE. So that's 225 years before Jesus was supposed to be born. They had in Khemetic, they had in Alexandria, they had the bishops of Christ. Google it. It's in the public domain. Every theologian knows this. Every ecclesiastic person knows this. Everybody knows there's 9 days in a week. Everybody knows there is no such thing as no Jesus. That guy Jesus is not the Christ, but there is a Christ. Every time in the SHN-NU legend or the Phenomenon of Precession, as we move through every 2,160 years, which is a great year, there is a deliverer of the cosmic breath, a deliverer of the star gospel of the self-creation, the deliverer of the divine manifestations of creation, and he's called the Christ. The Christ means the anointed one. The Christ means the deliverer of the divine breath. Jesus happened to be the name of the guy they said was the last guy. There was no Christ. Just Google Ptolemy the Eighth, Soter Christius, and they had the bishops of Christ. So here it is that the Christian religion was in full bloom 125 years before Jesus was supposed to have been born on the Gregorian calendar using a chronological timeline. So who's pulling whose leg here? You're supposed to be scholars and you don't know this? What type of research? What kind of detectives? Can't you detect? You're supposed to be a detective? What are you detecting? Anything he just tells you? Because you're going to get credits in school? In some idiotic school that's teaching you some limitations? But let us continue. I don't want to digress, Cream Mother. I like my master students just to stay sharp, that's all.
Yes, Sba. We are coming up on the 2-hour mark. We are coming up on the 2-hour mark, but everyone they are appreciating this knowledge that you are sharing with us today. So we're going to, that's okay. We're continuing. I'm glad you took your drink because that was necessary. I appreciate you. We have a lot of questions and comments about the calendar. If we could talk about that a little before we leave, that'd be great. Just so everyone knows, I shared some links to purchasing your calendar in the description below. With the purchase of your calendar, you will receive the Cosmic Egg, the book that Sba is sharing with you. You will receive it by email. So you won't receive the physical copy. You know, you can print it out, but it'll come in an email along with the MP3. Now, which is an audio guide for the use of your calendar. Now, when ordering on Amazon, and not many people who order there do take this step, is in the description to send an email. And when you send an email, then we'll have your email address and we can send you these 2 free items. We can't send them to you if you're purchasing through Amazon and you don't read the description and email us. If you order on Etsy, right, all that stuff's automatic. So the links are in the description. You'll receive 2 free items with the purchase of your calendar. Now, also, Sba, if you would explain, we had a question about how often, what's the frequency of buying a calendar? Do we have to buy one every year? And the year was mentioned in the spring. If you would also speak about the day 1 of the year is July 25th. The new year starts on July 25th. And do we have to buy a calendar every year?
Yes, because what I did was, but actually, it's supposed to say no, because our calendar, the way it's supposed to be, is perennial. Perennial is another Latin word that means fixed. But what I did, which means that the star that was in the sky at your birth will be there on your birthday, which I made that way. But I also incorporated the Gregorian calendar. I also incorporated the Gregorian calendar right on top of our calendar to make it a practical living calendar so everybody can acclimate and gravitate themselves back to our story from history. So I have to go and get you out of history and bring you back to our story. But in the meantime, the average brother and sister ain't trying to hear about no 9 days in a week. Or listen, man, I get paid on Sunday. I get paid on Friday. But I got 7 days a week. I'm going to get my check. Leave me alone. Okay. So what I did was I superimposed the Gregorian calendar right on top of our calendar, because the Gregorian calendar is just a plagiarized version of our calendar. Okay, so I took that calendar, dropped it right on top of it, and made it applicable and practical so that you can still, so like today is, with this, it says the month of Heru. We're under construction, by the way, if you might see some conflicting information. The 5th month is Heru, and the 6th month is Heru, and the next month is Heru for all those that have a calendar now. But on the next edition, Apet, which is Tawawert, the hippopotamus goddess, she's moving to the 5th month, because on the Gregorian calendar, the 5th month, Heru, or the 5th month of the Gregorian calendar corresponds to the winter solstice. And on the winter solstice, it took, I've been working on this for 50 years by myself. So now I have a group of Sebas who brought this to my attention. They said, yo, Sba, that's Tawawert. And Tawawert represents, Tawawert and Meduneta, Tawawert represents she who governs upon the top of the earth. Ta-wa-ert. Earth means great. Ta means earth. Wa-ert, she who governs upon the top of the earth, which represents the circumpolar stars, which represents Draco, Vega, Theban, and Polaris. So I had to move the 7th month to the 5th month. So next calendar, you'll see Apet move. It's under construction and remodeling right now, because, I'm not the smartest guy in the world. Sometimes I miss things too. I'm learning. I'm a student. I'm a master student teacher myself. I just got 50 years deep on it. That's all, but I'm still learning. Every day is a learning process. So anyways, and I'm humble enough to understand I made a mistake. And I'm showing this to the Ramets, to the family, so that they can see it. And so that they can see beyond what I see, because Sba and Meduneta means student, but Sba also means teacher, because the student becomes the teacher, and the teacher becomes the student. Just like in the ZP-TPII, or in our cultural spirituality, the son becomes stronger than the father, and the daughter becomes stronger than the mother. Just like in the creation, Ra-Nebuchadnezzar became stronger than Nu. Okay, this is how things work. All right, so the 7th month Heteru, I mean Tawawert or Apet, will become the 5th month. Heteru becomes the 6th month. So this is actually the 6th month of Heteru. And then Heru becomes the 7th month. And of course, we know Herukuti is the 8th month, and Sekhmet is the 9th month, and Ptah is the 10th month. So on the 10th month, so this is what it all comes down to. Right now, today is the 197th day of the year, which means that there are 163 days remaining. So that means we count down 163 days until we get to here, which is the 160th day of the year. That means it's the end of the year. Actually, the next 5 days are accounted for by fasting, prayer, festival, celebration, and observance. These are the days that we celebrate. These are the days that we celebrate the first ancestors. See this Seb on the bottom? There's Seb. And at top, we see Newt going across the top up here. Okay. And in the middle, we have 5 suns. These suns represents the 5 birthdays of the first ancestors who are born of the womb of Newt and begotten of Seb. And in the scholarship, you'll know them as the Apocryphal Day. Here they are right here. Okay. And on these days, this happens on this top right one is Heru-Ur, an equivalent to the Gregorian calendar of July 19th. The next day is the birthday of Heru-Ur. And then the next day is the 20th. No, it's the 20th, yeah. 21st, 20th. Right. And the 19th is Heru-Ur. The 20th is Asar. The 21st is Sut. The 22nd is the 20th is Heru-Ur. July the 20th, we celebrate the birthday of the firstborn of Nut, begotten of Seb. His name is Heru-Ur. He's personified on a human's body, on a man's body, with 2 heads on his shoulders. One head is of Heru, the other one is Set. He's called Heru-Ur. He represents universal dualism. He represents polarity. He represents day and night. Heru-Ur makes the earth spin, rotate. He did not encompass himself in fire, earth, air, and water as the next 4 Netches did. The next born is Asar. Asar was born, he's called the king of the Netheru. He's the Netheru of the Netherus. He is our paternal father. He is our Atef. Atef means father. He's our paternal, he's our Atef Netheru, our paternal father. The next born is Sut, Set. And then, so Asar is the day 21st of July. Set is the 22nd. As was born on the 23rd, and Nebhet was born on the 24th. And after Nebhet's birthday, when the sun sets, the next time the sun rises with the star Septet together. And when these 2 stars appear together in her rising on 30 longitude, 30 latitude, which is the Nilotic meridian, it indicates scientifically that our Earth has made one complete revolution of the sun. This is how our ancestors do the New Year's, because of the star. There's only one time that you'll see a star. Keep that right there, Queen Mother. There's only one time you'll see a star in the sky with the sun. Now, before the sun rises, you'll see stars. And when the sun after the sun sets, you'll see stars. But there's only one time in your lifetime through ponderable matter can you see a star and the sun in the sky at the same time. And that happens on this day. It's called the Helical Rising. And when you see this star Septet and Sirius Ra in the sky at the same time, it indicates scientifically and mathematically that our sun has made one complete revolution around the sun. It's the annual orbit. It's called New Year's. But that's why I had to take off from Thanksgiving to January the 1st, because I can't talk to my people. My people go under a spell come Thanksgiving. They're eating that turkey, and then here comes Christmas. You want to believe in some Santa Claus. You got this freaking tree in your house, and then comes New Year's. You actually think you got to go to Times Square to watch a ball, a mechanical ball, to tell you that this is the New Year's, and they're celebrating it at 12 at night. We celebrate New Year's when the sun dawns in the morning. And this happens on July 25th in equivalence to the Gregorian calendar. We only use that as just a referencing point. Now, These symbols here in Medunetta. The top right one represents Pert. It says in the top right corner, you see the house is in the top far right, far left. You're reading from left to right because you see the feet are walking to the left. So you're reading from left to right. You read down from the square triangle, from the square oblong box, that's house with the mouth, and that says Pert. Pert means to come forth. And then behind it are two legs, which are called a determinative, to tell you what's happening with the words in front of you, okay? This is why it's called Medunetta. It's called Medu means words, Netta means the nature or the netters or the gods and goddesses. So that's how we did things. Now that spike after the feet is called, and the T at the top, the T, that little half circle, or that, and God in science is called the raised loaf, and the star, that means something. Now the spike represents a frequency. So this is what happens when the star rises with the sun. There's a bolt of electromagnetic energy that shoots out right onto the planet, or it encompasses the whole solar system. Okay, it's part of the divine frequency. It's a spike. That's what that is. That's a spike, a frequency. It's a transmission of an energy that is being, it interacts with the ley lines of the earth and the telluric forces, the conductivity, discontinuity, which the ley lines that crisscross across the whole planet upon these sacred sites, these ancient megalithic and monolithic monuments in which our ancestors erected, which are orientated to these celestial axes, and so on and so forth. But it's been a wonderful time being with my master students here on Crumb TV. I want to give a shout out to my Sba Crumb. I can't wait to see you this July. We want to present you with your Lifetime Achievement Award because you put in the work, my brother. One thing Crumb puts in the work, he fears nothing. And he's putting out the work for my Ramech, for the Ramech, the first family. And we call you the first families because we just dawned upon the great golden age of Ptah Skr Asar. And we have lived through two great ages. We just came out of the great age of Uncle Set, which is Pisces, in 2012. We are now living in another great age. So you're living in two great ages. So this makes you the first family. So that's why I say to my first families, to the Ramech is the first families, and you are the first families, and you need to embrace. You got to take your calendar when you get your impetu. You take your calendar. You don't hang it up on the wall. However old your children are, if your children's 4 years old, you put it down here. They're 8 years old, you put it up here. You always put it where they can see it, where they can walk by and see it. Don't put it all the way up here, but they're not going to look for it. Put it at there where they can just turn and look and say, "Oh, Daddy, what's that? Ooh, oh, Mommy, hey, I know who that is. I seen that in my dreams," because they're already in tune. Okay, my Sebas and Sebats, I'd like to give a shout out to Black Ice TV in the UK, Black Ice TV Richie. He's going to have us on, and she's back on again. We're going to be, me and the Queen Mother Goddess Sba Ptah Skr will be on this show next week. I just got a call from Cap Video from Clemson Brown. And if everybody don't know Clemson Brown,
Minister
Brown has
Clemson
documented
Brown,
on his,
definitely. Minister Clemson Brown, yes.
Yes. He documented Dr. Professor Leonard Jeffries, everybody from Dr. Ben, Dr. Henry Clark, Raketia Men, Queen of Spore. Dr. Sba, Minister Clemson Brown, they took him when they did the Pan-African Conference. They paid his way to Africa just to document it, because that's what he does. He's like the Gordon Parks of the African, of the conscious community. It's all he does. He documents everything. Me and the Queen Mother Goddess Sba Ptah Skr and Ramuchef Kweb have been honored to have been on his platform a couple of times, 3 times. And I just got a call from him today. He had a slight medical emergency last couple of months, but he's coming back. We got our prayers, our Uncle the Jez, our Uncle Johnson Nebs, our Ubenefi Kia, Padabu Mati, to our great Sba Clemson Brown. And he's wants us back on his platform. We're going to be on Black Ice TV next week. I want to give a shout out to my brothers in Ghana, to Sam Chi Chi, and to the Black Messiah, who invited me over to Ghana to open up 3 of the temples, to relight the flames, the eternal flames of the 3 temples, the dilapidated temples in the jungles. We're going to clean them up, open them up, and put in the cosmic thought and the precious treasure. And in the Sudan, we got our brother Amru. And I'd like to give a great shout out to my brother from Nuba Market, Shahid Ali, our birthday. We're gonna do this show at the museum, and we want you, if you need to get your vending tables. We have tents. We have our nubamarket.com, NUBA market.com. Go on there, get your tents and purchase your table, because it's going to be a beautiful event. We're going to honor Mefumdishi with a Lifetime Achievement Award. We want to give an honor to Sba Ptah, Queen of 4, Kaba Kamini, Suni Valentine, and all those who have put in the work, the Queen Mother Goddess, Reketi Amen, those who let us know that your works have not gone unforgotten, that we treasure you, we honor you, and we would like to show some appreciation to them. So I am going to do this myself to make sure that we do not forget about our elders. We cannot let the elders go unremembered. They have placed their whole hard work in there. We're going to give them these lifetime awards and let them show our recognition to them. This will be at the Museum of the National Center Afro-American Artists, 300 Walnut Ave, Roxbury, Boston, Massachusetts. The Royal Burial Chamber of Nesubiti Espalta, and hopefully we'll be able to get in the museum this year. Last year they had the COVID, and so we had our contingency plan. We just worked. We opened up outside. Now we got National Geographic, we got Nubia Geographic, we got the Museum of Fine Arts, we got Nubian Square in Boston, Mass. And everybody's coming in on this because all of us melanated people are coming together. And for those of you who are entrepreneurs, want to set up your tables, you have your Afrocentric items, like my brothers in New York, up on that 5th Ave, on that avenue up there, 125th Street. Bring your table down there that day. We would love to have you there. All my brothers, Red Pill, Blue Pill, Dr. Professor Reggie, my brother Reggie Mabry. I'm going to give my brother, I got to honor my brother Reggie Mabry. And I'd like to give a shout out to the Sba in South America. His name is the old man with the stick. His name is Kofiti Guatemala, the great high priest of South America. We always honor you, my great Sba. And in my closing statement, I'd like to say, in the words of our paternal father, Asa Unepa Kentiamenti, that within the whole of the universe, nothing is ever added and nothing is ever lost. And remember, you have just watched Crumb TV.
Yes, and one more time, the mention of Crumb TV. This calendar is actually the Crumb TV edition. You can see here. And as we spoke, the calendar, we will have a new one that we will have. The new year again is July 25th. Sba already spoke about not having to buy a calendar each year. But again, when the new calendar comes out, it will be a new edition. It will no longer be the Crumb TV edition. So if you're a master student and you collect items and you purchase things, Crumb TV, this is the Crumb TV edition of the ancient Khemetic Rasaurian calendar. And I know Sba Ptah Skr Asar has copies of the editions that are older, so you don't have to get it today. You can make a special request after these calendars are no longer the ones that we're selling primarily, and make a special request to Sba to get the Crumb TV edition of the calendar. And
yes. Let me just say one thing, Queen Mother. Yeah, he asked me the question. Yes, every year you have to buy a calendar, because like I said, I superimposed the Gregorian calendar right on top of it. The Gregorian calendar is a perpetual calendar, meaning if January the 1st, 2001, hypothetically speaking, was on a Monday, 2022 would be on a Tuesday, 2023 would be on a Wednesday, 2024 would be on a Thursday, 2025 would be on a Saturday. because on that Thursday was a leap year. So they jump a year. This is why the star in the sky is not in the time of your birthday, is not in the sky at the time of your birthday. So it's a perpetual calendar. But still it's orientated on the 6,000, on the 8,766 hours under the sidereal cycle, which means that I still have its fashion so that the star that's in the sky at your birth will be there on your birthday. So you do have to buy a calendar every year, but we will be making a calendar with just the solar civil lunar aspect without the Gregorian implementation.
Okay.
So you never have to buy another calendar again.
Oh, okay. Got you. All right, Sba. So you gave your closing remarks. Once again, I am today Sba Ptah Skr student Sba Ptah Skr Asar, Holy House of Ra, and I am here representing my platform, the Memoirs of a Karmic Dynasty, on my humble brother Crumb's platform, Crumb TV. And again, we have our Sba Ptah Skr Asar on Crumb TV once again, and we definitely look forward to having you here. I know with the rent pack coming up, you'll be back. You'll be here again real soon. So we'll see you soon, Sba. And I am also going to leave you all the same way I came to you, in peace. Dua Wu Ramech.
Brother Red Pill representing Know the Ledge, one half of the Twin Pillars. I am here rocking with Crumb TV.
You are watching Crumb TV.
You can find me on Crumb TV.
You can catch me on Crumb TV.
This is Chief Kalanago here at Crumb TV.
I am Joy Allen of the Memoirs of a Karmic Dynasty in the Crumb TV studio.
Honored to be on your program, brother.